All right, 2000 monolithic coming to you with another old school rarity. These are some Orion NT carbon fiber subwoofers. And on this one, I'm looking for some information because I don't know a great deal about these. And looking them up, there's no specs because there was an NT2, which was a paper cone, and it had a double stack magnet and different basket. Just really pretty much an entirely different sub, and that's going to have completely different parameters than these. These were the original Orion NT subs. Fairly rare. You don't see a whole lot of these. They, from what I've looked up, these were known as one of the better sounding subs of the 90s. Very expensive new. Another thing about them that's kind of cool, you might be able to see a little bit how you can see like through. If I can hold up to the light here. See how you can see through the subwoofer. So you can backlight these, which I think I'm going to try to do in like some red LEDs so that it glows red around the edge. I think it'd be neat. You'll see them too. This one's red. You'll see them with the purple inside the gold. I think those were the original color, as well as the NT amps. So the NT amps were purple and then they were red, or maybe it was maybe vice versa. Maybe the red was the earlier, but I'm not really sure on that. But I'm trying to find out some specs on these. I bought them. They came in a Camaro box that was a cube and a half for each sub. I've heard that these do require a very large sealed enclosure. So they might have been limited by the fact that it was a Camaro that these were installed in. I get them from the original owner. He just didn't really know a whole heck of a lot about these. He just apparently had a large sum of money to spend on equipment. Because real quick, I'll show you, and I'm going to do it. My next video is going to be on these amps, which are amazing. But he was running one of these each, bridged to an Adcom 4402. These are dual 4 ohms, so had that at 2 ohms, and it's really funky how these get used. You'll see it's this thing where you gotta, if you're gonna bridge it, you have to invert the signal, almost like an early Orion, the GX amps, where you had to buy to bridge it, you had to buy the BDG 400, which inverted the signal, and this is kind of the same thing. So you like pull out these pins and get it out. Yeah, and then I don't know, use whatever, but I don't know, really funky setup. And then it's B positive and A positive. So you're using a positive and a positive for your connection. It's a real bizarre deal. But these things are such excellent sound quality amplifiers. And like I said, I'll do a whole video on these. That I don't think I'm going to use them for subs. I was thinking of putting these two on like my Kicker ZR1000. They're rated. That's the only thing I was able to find. They're rated at 1,000 max, so they're 500 a piece RMS. So they can handle quite a bit of watts. But anyway, other than that, I don't have any of the Thiel small parameters on these. So if anybody has those, if you could shoot them over, I'd really appreciate it, so we can figure out best enclosure for these. But so we'll go through it and walk around it. Carbon fiber dust cap, carbon fiber cone, rubber surround, Rubitex gasket, and then on the back, a lot of you guys will notice these baskets. These were used for quite a few of the high-end subs. I know the top Soundstreams use these baskets. The Lanzar, I'm trying to think what those were. I think they were called like the Pro Plus. Use these baskets, but it's a 4-spoke. But they're pretty shallow as far as the mount. And then this one's got the push terminals on both sides. And then it's got there's a top plate, not a very deep top plate, and then the back plate's a lot bigger actually than the top plate. Single slug, and then it's bumped back quite a bit. These do have a decent throw to them, especially for the time period. And I mean, all it says on the magnet is Intense 12, Orion, and then 12-inch loudspeakers, dual 4-ohm voice coils. So not a whole lot of info on the sub. Like I said, there was one after this that's a lot more common. There's the Spider. But yeah, not a lot of info on these. But what I have read is anybody who has used them were saying they were the best sounding subs they ever owned. And I would assume hooked up to one of those AdComs, which is known as one of the best sounding amplifiers from the 90s. This was probably an amazing sounding system. But I'll probably use these. I think I'm going to use these for my next interior install. And then I'll do a video on those. But yeah, that's it. Just really awesome subs that just need some information on. Thanks.